Hey, welcome to today's episode of the Hive with Us podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Daniel Martinez. Today, I have a special guest, Mr. Jarod Alexander. We're covering a deal breakdown, which is a cool, interesting story that you have in real estate or business. What's your cool, interesting story, Jarod, that you got for us today?
Yeah, so thanks, Daniel. Appreciate you having me on the show here. And yeah, one of the stories that first comes to mind is the first single family home I bought. So just a little backstory on this, and I don't know if anybody relates to this or not, but I'm gonna share it. I just started in real estate just probably about 3 years ago, and my wife's a school teacher, and we started getting involved in this space, and then at first I kind of had to sell my wife on the idea of real estate. It's just, hey, we're doing good right now. Why do we need to, go out and invest our money in all these, risky, scary assets, and kind of in her mind, which is definitely understandable. I could see where she was coming from. But for me, it's like, hey, I'm seeing this as a way to scale. So anyways, we go out and buy our single family home. And so we were first looking at our general location here in Phoenix, Arizona is where we're currently at. But of course, the market was just hot at, 3 years ago, and it was really hard to find anything that penciled and made sense. I'm not saying it wasn't out there, but man, we weren't finding nothing. And so we ended up looking out of state. So we landed on Kansas City, Missouri. And I actually had a good friend of mine who was investing out there and brought a couple properties. And so we went for the turnkey deal. Renter was in place, property manager, and I ended up buying my first home out of state, never seen it before, and representing myself as the realtor, so to speak. There was not I didn't have a realtor involved in the transaction, right? So I'm negotiating all these deals, and not only, is everything I just said, but then you throw it to 1920s house, in Kansas City. So on an inspection report, you can only imagine what comes back on it, right? I mean, friggin' foundation work, plumbing, the sewer pipe is about to fall apart, all of this stuff, right? And and I'm figuring it out again. The best way to learn is to go through it. So we're going through it, and ended up closing on the deal.
This show is sponsored by HiveMind CRM. It is more than just a CRM. It is a real estate and business mastermind that comes with an all-in-one CRM. You can have unlimited websites and users. You can call, text, RVM, and email all in one user interface. And you can set up custom automations for any type and multiple businesses. 65% of companies start using a CRM system within the first 5 years of business. Once implemented, the HiveMind will save you on marketing, give you more time, and make more money. One of our users had his first $100,000 month using our system in June. We want to see you automate and accelerate your business. Text us at 210-972-1842 for future meetings, and of course to get our $1 course on how to make more than 6 figures on one land deal. You can schedule your free demo today at hivemindcrm.io.
I was actually very impressed with the negotiation process. Was able to pretty much get everything I asked for within reason, right? And so we ended up closing on that, and everything was good. I started, getting some cash flow. It cash flowed about $200 a month as well. So I'll share. We bought it for $75,000, and it was again cash flowing over $200 a month. So anything I was doing underwriting on, that was definitely a win for us.
Yeah.
And, of course, that's minus, we factored in vacancy, CapEx repairs, property management fees, of course, minus all the expenses, right? And we're putting that money away. But so then, everything's going good for about 2 weeks. And then I get a call, hey, we need a sump pump. Okay. I'm not from Kansas City, Missouri, and they got basements down there, and they require a sump pump because it rains a lot and water floods down in the basement, right? That's another $3,500 repair right there, right? And then I got some odds and ends. I mean, the stove went out, the just things like that. There was a couple light fixtures and things. So by all in all, within probably a month and a half of this property of owning it, we probably had about $4,500 in repairs, Yeah. And I there was something with the AC. I mean, yeah, just all this stuff. And I'm like, just coming at me. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is not how this is supposed to go. I'm supposed to just sit back and collect a check here and, fix something maybe 6 months down the road or something, but not
investor. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Like, this is not that passive. And I even had one time where, again, I got a property manager I'm paying. Well, I got a call from them at 12 o'clock at night saying, hey, the tenants just came home and all the power shut off and there's no water. And I'm like, oh, but what do you want me to do? I'm 3,000 miles away here in Arizona. And so anyways, just kind of, you got to manage the property manager, things like that. So to your point, it was not as passive as I would have hoped. And so that was our first deal. Now I will share though, just by taking that step to get involved, we ended up holding on to it for about a little over a year. And thank God nothing really came up too much after those initial repairs, some auditing stuff here and there. And then we ended up selling it for $95,000 a year later. And, we put 25% down for the down payment. So it was a pretty good cash on cash return. I mean, if you look at it in a year, we doubled our money after we paid all the fees and taxes and really,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, all in all, it turned out good, but it was definitely an experience for sure. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you took the step out. I think it's number one we got to commend you on is actually taking action, because, like I said, most people will never take action. They'll never buy their first property. They'll never understand. And I think there's a path that you go down that it kind of led you to what you do now, which is 100% worth the action. Like I said, I'm glad you didn't lose money on it, because that would have been disastrous. But even lose money, it's still a learning lesson. So if everybody has to start somewhere, so if you're going down this investing route, buy a house, see what happens. Hopefully you get a good deal. Hopefully at least learn enough that much to negotiate and fill out a purchase contract and get that first part done. And it seems like you did all that and you kind of worked your way up to doing larger assets. But for everybody here, man, you got to start somewhere. You got to start at A. You can't start at Z and hope for the results of making a lot of money in real estate.
Yeah. Absolutely. When I tell you, like you said, I mean, this got my foot over that threshold, right? It got me in the game. And honestly, I wanted to go out and tackle like 20 more right then. I'm like, yeah, let's go do this, and which, led me to where I'm at today. So it's been, definitely quite the experience and a good learning process along the way.
100%. Well, for everybody here, Jarod did another episode with us. Please go check it out. We covered multifamily syndications, which is what Jarod does. Where can people find you online? We have optimalequitygroup.com. And then where's social media?
So LinkedIn, you can look me up on Facebook or Instagram. LinkedIn and Facebook, just Google my name, Jarod Alexander. It's Jarod Alexander. And then Instagram is Jarod Alexander 2489. Yeah, you can find me there. Yeah.
There you go. Well, I hope you take your first steps into real estate. If you're looking to start somewhere, you just got to start. Hopefully not lose money, but you just got to put the money where your mouth is, and you'll experience and learn a lot on your first deal. So I hope you all take action and produce results like Jarod did. And who knows where you end up a few years later in multifamily. Who knows? Thanks for your time, Jarod. And if everybody listening, go like, share, subscribe, and share with your friends. We'll see you on the next episode, guys.
Hey, guys. If you would like to receive hot leads right to your cell phone in a text message, check out hiveleads.io, and you can receive the same leads we've been receiving in our campaign for 3.5 years that's made us successful in the land game. Check us out.
Certified financial educator, and I teach people how money works. In America, it's worldwide, about 70% of the people are illiterate when it comes